Hello, hi guys. Today we will be discussing about linear regression machine learning algorithm, where linear regression is a supervised machine learning algorithm where the predicted output is continuous and has a constant slope. It is used for to predict the values within a continuous range. For example, if you take sales or a price, rather trying to classify, it is not a classification where in logistic regression we used to classify whether the animal is a cat or dog. This is something different where the output value will be continuous. Here in this slide it has been explained profit estimation of a company. It is a linear regression example. Decide the companies to invest. It is an example. It is a continuous value. Means it is a numerical value to predict the profit of a company's make. How much the profit a company makes. It is a continuous value. It belongs to the same thing. And based on the company expenses, this is also same thing. And these are the values. I mean numerical values. We'll be getting these numerical values in order to estimate the profit, or you can say to market. There are so many things we can do with the help of data. Profit estimator, this is called company. The company is contains research and development groups and marketing groups, and there are state groups and administration group. These whole teams are plays a major important role in calculating the profit of a given organization. It is based on the experience and the location. These guys will decide how much the expenditure has to be put on it, and where is the location. I mean, the expenditure will be depends upon the location. Here you can see they have plotted a graph. R&D people and research and development people did some research, and they have plotted a graph versus research and development versus profit. These are some of the points where we have to invest, and we'll be getting profit of this much. And here you can see, let's suppose take this point as 1. We are investing 1 rupee on here, and we are getting one more than 1 rupee or less than 1 rupee approximately. We are getting this kind of predictions. This can be done by this R&D people. The profit, plotting the profit based on R&D expenditure. What our model does is, we'll take whole data points, and we'll be placing this straight line, which is known as linear line. Where the perfect line, I'll be explaining about the perfect placement for this line in the future slides. This line will predict the estimation. I mean, this line will predict how much profit we'll be getting on the estimated uh, expenditure. Suppose we are expecting, consider this point as 10 lakhs. We are putting 10 lakhs, and in order to get the profit, go straight here and take its horizontal line. This place will provide how much profit will be earning over this. The companies are spending more on R&D to make good profit. Let's invest on them. Okay. In this, what we are going to learn. First important topic is introduction to machine learning, ML, and ML algorithms and applications, understanding how this algorithm work, and multiple linear regression and use case. Use case is nothing but a project. Introduction to machine learning. Machine learning is nothing but making a machine to think on its own feet. It's like a human. It's like a human. Human can have something called common sense. The same thing has been fed to the machines in order to do the same things in much more efficient than people. Okay. Here you can see introduction to machine learning. Based on the amount of rainfall, how much would the crop is yield? Crop yield based on rainfall, predict the crop yield. This is one of the machine learning algorithm. This is one of the machine learning. We have to feed the data to machine crop field, what type of crop field, and how based on the how much rainfall, how it is going to predict the yield. Dependent and independent variables. You can see here there are three features here. One is crop field, another one is rainfall, another one is crop yield. Here you can see there are two types of features. See, independent features and dependent features. This crop yield is dependent upon the rainfall as well as the field. Crop yield is nothing but how much the vegetables or the how much crop will get will be depending upon the resources that will be going on it. So this we can say this is an x variable, this is a y variable. X is an independent variable and y is a dependent variable. Numerical data and categorical values. As we know, numerical data is nothing but the data which is in form of numbers. Categorical data is nothing but the data which is in the form of categories. Categories are nothing but, let's say, for example, color. Color is, we can't say color 1, color 2, color 3. We have to say green color, red color, blue color, or dogs breed. There are types of dogs are there, no? They're dogs breed. Gender, for example, gender. We can't say 1 and 0 for gender. We say uh, male or female. Okay, let's say for crops also we'll be saying crop type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. We can't say 1, 2, 3, 4. This is known as categorical data. And numerical, coming to numerical data, age is just a number. A number can be a numerical value, and salary is also a number. Height can be measured in numbers. It depends upon the measurement. Okay, that can be divided into numerical and data can be divided into numerical and categorical data. Machine learning algorithm. There are three types of machine learning algorithm. One is supervised machine learning, another one is unsupervised learning, another one is reinforcement learning. First one we'll be discussing about this, that is supervised machine learning. It is a machine learning algorithm where we will be having lots of data and will be the data will be labeled. Data will be labeled and will be having a solutions for a given problem. We have a huge amount of data, we'll be having a solutions for the or given data. We have to train all those data and all those target values in order to get a model, so that we have to new predict the values for a new data. Whereas in unsupervised learning there will be no label data. There will be a data, we will be not having a solutions over that, and we have to define the solution. In reinforcement learning, the combination of both supervised and unsupervised learning is known as reinforcement learning. Okay, the example for supervised learning is all the algorithms that are decision tree, random forest, linear regression, logistic regression. In unsupervised learning, that is SVM, support vector machine, and one more thing is clustering. Supervised learning can be classified into two types. One is regression and another one is cluster. Regression is nothing but we have to predict the values which are continuous in nature. Continuous, let's say continuous and numerical. Continuous is nothing but, for example, salary. We are depending upon the futures or depending upon the qualification, will be predicting the salary. Salary is a number, and this belongs to regression. And classification. Classification is nothing but it's classifying whether a student is passed or failed in a 10th exam depending upon his futures, or let's say his performance, or classifying whether the animal is dog or cat. This belongs to something called categorical prediction. Okay, coming to the next point, that is supervised machine learning. It has been in the regression, it has been divided into three types, that is simple linear regression and multiple linear regression and polynomial regression. Simple is nothing but only one straight line. Multiple is nothing but many lines. Or polymer is nothing but it's something called we have learned in algebra polymer number of lines. Application of linear regression used to determine the economic growth of a country or a state in the coming quarter and can be used to predict the GDP of a country. It is something which is used for in the applications where the gradual increase or gradual decrease of any asset. Product price, it can be used in determining or predicting the product price in the future, or it can be used in house sellings depending upon the how upcoming in upcoming months how the price increases or decreases with respect to time. And cricket, to predict the number of runs of a player would score in the coming matches based on its previous performance. I said no. So we will be having previous data, that is previous perform by using this previous performance we'll be predicting how many number of runs can be scored by a player. Understanding linear regression. Okay, linear regression is a statistical model to predict the relationship between dependent and independent variable. Okay, it is a it is an algorithm, it is a statistical model, it is an approach, statistical approach in order to determine the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable, or we can say futures and a target. Examine the two factors, that is which variables are particular significant predictors of the outcome variables, how significant the regression line to make the prediction with the highest possible accuracy. Here we have to do two things. We have to examine two things. One is we have to predict and we have to set the particular significant predictors to of an outcome variable. Let's say we'll be having some huge amount of data, a school data, and we have to predict the performance of any student. We'll be having something called ID, student ID. Student ID is not useful, so we have to drop the student. We have to select the only columns which are helpful for the outcome, prediction of outcome. How significant the relation linear regression to make the with the highest possible accuracy. And we have to check the what is the importance of linear regression model to predict to get the highest accuracy of a model. See here, we know the expression for any line from mathematics that is given by E is equal to mx plus c, where m is a slope and c is a constant. Constant or something, but here this is known as constant. The line which is it is a point where the line pass through y axis. The simple form of linear regression equation with one dependent and one independent variable is represented by y is equal to mx plus. Depend upon the x value, y goes on increasing or decreasing. Here it is a line is given. Say let's say this is a line. We have drawn this random line. Y is an dependent variable, x in an independent. Here you can see depend upon x, the y increases. Hence y is an dependent variable, x is an independent variable. X may be 1, 10 or 1000. Here you can say m is a slope line of a slope, and c is a constant or coefficient of line. Okay, fine. Here in this equation we'll be getting we have to see these values. Okay, we have to get this slope value and this constant value. Let's suppose we have drawn some line, straight line. Here you can see the point which the line passes through the y direction. That point is known as a constant or coefficient of line. We will be getting that results. And most of the time it will be 0. So hence consider 0 or neglect 0 for some time for understanding. Okay, let's suppose take m. Okay, draw a horizon. Take any point on this line. Draw a horizontal line of 1 centimeter and draw vertical line of 1 centimeter and draw horizontal where it touches the line. So we'll be getting this triangle where this hypotenuse, you can see this hypotenuse is an sorry, hypotenuse is an slope, and these points, by using Pythagoras theorem we can we can easily get the value of m, or we can do like this. This is in order to get this y value, in order to get this y value, here you can see y2 minus y1 gives the y value, that is y value. X2 minus x1 gives the x value. So y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 gives, sorry, the root of y2 minus 1. Here there's some mistake. The root of x2 minus x1, sorry, it is perfect only. Y square plus x square is equal to m square, where m square is equal to y square plus x square divided by, one minute. Here m is given by y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, which gives the slope of a given slope is nothing but the angle of a given particular line, or position of a given particular line. Okay, here we have taken only two things. One is one independent one, another one is other, only two features. One is target, one is the next is a prediction using regression line. Here you can see there is a plot of rainfall versus crop yield. This is a relationship. These are the points which are represented in a graph, that is crop yield versus rainfall. This much of rainfall it shows this much of crop yield, plotting the amount of crop yield based on the amount of rainfall. Here you can see we are building a model, in the sense we are just placing a line where the most of these data points will pass through, and the most of our data points are nearby to that line. So you can see from this point to this line there is some distance. That distance is known as error. Okay, there this is a best fit line, so that the error is minimum. There is a error in each and every problem, but here it is minimal. We have to minimize the error as much as possible. Here you can see this red line is known as regression line. How we will be predicting this? Consider this green point as a new point or new rainfall. This much of rainfall leads to this much of yield, I mean crop yield, by using this model. Okay, here you can see this is a table of independent variable x and dependent variable y. Here you can see 1 2 3 4 5. They have plotted a graph dependent versus independent. 1 2, you can see here 1 2, sorry, for x1 the value is 2, for x2 the value is 4, for 3 the value is 5, and so on. They have plotted the points they have plotted the points by using this information. Okay, and they are here they are calculating the mean of the x variable, that is 6, that is independent variable. The mean of independent variable is 6 and dependent variable is 4. Mean is very simple. The addition of all this divided by 3, sorry, divided by number of components or number of points. Let's say 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 divided by 5. In the same way 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 4 plus 5 divided by the number of points. Okay, here you can see for dependent variable 4 is a what you call 4 is a main value, and for dependent variable, so for independent variable 4 is a main value, for the independent variable 3 is a main value. Okay, here you can see this point is known as 3 comma 4. 3 is nothing but 3 and 4 are the means of the both the futures or both the columns. Here you can see drawing the equation of a regression line. How we can draw the regression line? Okay, see here. Here they are given. Here consider the table. They have given only two columns. One is dependent variable, another one is independent variable. X is a independent variable, y is a dependent variable. Okay, let's do this. First we have to calculate x square, and we have to add the sum. Then we have to calculate y square, then we have to add sum. Then we have to do x into y. As you know, the line equation y is equal to mx plus c. 0.6 is equal to, where 3 is x is a 3, we are taking mean value, and c as a 0.22 from the graph, and we are getting y is equal to 4. Okay, we are predicting the value of y. Before that we have to finalize, we have to find the value of x, so the value of mean value as well as coefficient. The linear equation for is represented by y is equal to mx plus c, and mean is represented by n into x star y minus sigma minus star sigma divided by n into sigma x square by sigma. So that is 5 into 66 minus 15 minus 20 divided by 5 into 55 minus 225. How this equation is derived, I can explain you by this diagram. One minute. Here I can see, take the average of this number, you'll be getting a slope, or this is a standard equation which is prescribed by the in math statistics. You can use this for getting this slope, and this constant coefficient is given by this formula. By using these two, we'll be getting the IM and SIM, then we'll be predicting the value. This can be done by graph itself. Once we'll get the value of slope and this constant, will be easy to predict and will be easy to calculate the y value. Here the blue points represent the actual y, and the brown points represent the predicted y. Blue points are actual, and this brown are predicted value. The difference between these 2 points are known as residual or residuals or error. The best fit line should have a least sum of squares of these errors, also known as e square. Why we are taking square is nothing but we'll consider the values which are below the graph as minus, and the values which are above the graph is plus. So plus, and while adding the while calculating the error, this plus and minus may leads to a wrong number or wrong value. In order to do that, we are taking absolute values or square values. Here you can see 2.4 is a sum of squared errors for this regression line. We can check this each error line and conclude the best fit line by using least square. Okay. Finding the best fit line. How we can find the best fit line? We can find the best fit line by using something called cost function. Here we can see there are lots of ways to minimize the distance between the line and the data points, like sum of squared error, sum of absolute error, root mean squared error. There are many errors in order to reduce the error, and in order to reduce the error and in order to get the best fit line. Then we'll be going to multiple linear regression. Simple regression is nothing but only one line, that is y is equal to mx plus c, where multiple linear regression is nothing but multiple lines where slopes, but there will be one constant or coefficient. Here you can see y is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 xp and goes on. Implementation of linear regression. Use case implementation of linear regression. Let's understand how multiple linear regression works and implementing is Python. Let's suppose take 100 companies, just based on expenditure we'll be predicting the profit. Predicting the profit of 100 companies based on the attribute mentioned in the figure. One is profit and estimation. First one is R&D spend, administration, marketing spend, state, and profit. These are the futures. We have to predict the value of profit. What we will be getting. Here you can see it is an implementation by using a Python code, and we are importing some of the libraries like NumPy as NP. Matplotlib is for visualization of any graph, and Pandas is for data cleaning, data wrangling, and Seaborn is for SAM visualization purpose. Where percentage matplotlib inline is for showing the graph in the code itself. I mean in the environment. Here you can see we are reading the CSV file of the companies. We have got some of the link, and we have 100 companies, which is holding data of 100 companies, and we are getting the X value as a companies, and we are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. 5 columns. In these 5 columns, 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is nothing but futures or independent variable. Profit is a target variable or dependent feature. Hence, we have divided this whole thing into x and y, where x is a future and y is a target. We have to predict the target value. Here you can see this is known as data validation of correlation matrix as well as heat map, where you can see if the value is 0.96 or is more than 0.96, this means that, let's suppose, take this marketing spend and R&D spend are similar, means these both data are similar, in the sense they are more similar, that is averagely 0.96% of the data is similar. So we can drop this column in order to reduce the complexity, time complexity, or in order to reduce the burden on the given algorithm. And one more thing, we are doing something called encoding of categorical data, where the machine learning algorithms only accept or only understand the numerical values, and we are doing something called label encoding and one-hot encoding. Label encoding is nothing but if there is any categorical column, something like gender, that is male and female, we are assigning the 1 0 for male and 1 for female as usual. If we want, we can exchange the values. Then one more thing is one hot encoding. Let's suppose take an example of gender itself, male and female. If there is a, and consider one more example. Let's suppose okay, marks, grading marks. High, take three, only three categories, that is high, low, and medium. So we know low is nothing but 0, and high is nothing but 2, and medium is nothing but 1. So we are making the values in increasing order. So 2 is the highest value, 1 is a, sorry, 0 is the lowest value. But we can judge that 0 is the lowest value and 1 is the highest value, 2 is a more highest value than 1. But we can't do the same thing in male and female case. Hence we'll be doing one hot encoding, so that there'll be a column for male and there'll be a column for female, saying that if it is a 0, then it says that it is not a male. If it is a 1, it says that it is a male. Okay, then we are using something called avoiding dumbing variables. That is nothing but if there is a values which are having a same variable, same target, then we are deleting that. Then we are splitting our data into test and train. In order to, we already said in our previous YouTube sessions, in order to do a modeling, we have to spread, we have to get the train data and test data, where train data will be considering as a 70% and test data will be 30 or 20% as usual. Then we are fitting the multiple linear regression for the model in the train set. Multiple linear regression is nothing but we are taking so many features. Let's say I said in this example we are taking 4 features and we are calculating one feature, that is target feature, that is profit. We are taking 4 features, 4 different type of expenditures, and we are calculating. And here you can see from scikit-learn we are importing linear model, and we are from that we are importing linear regression, and we are defining, or we are calling for a linear regression function, and we are fitting the train x and test x values, I mean train values and test values. The next step we'll be doing something called predicting the values. Here I can see the regressor dot predict the x test. These are the test cases, whereas these are the results. Okay, then next we'll be doing something called regressor coefficients. These are the regression coefficients, or nothing but c values. That is, I said, y is equal to mx plus c, where c is a coefficient, that c values, and we are printing the intercept. Intercept is nothing but slope. You can see minus 5,130, sorry, 51,035.229724. Then we are evaluating the model. In order to evaluate the model, which is continuous in nature, we are using something called R2 square, that is R squared error. So we are getting something value as 0.991. R squared value is 0.91, proves that model is good model. So from this we are able to know that the model has very less error. We have successfully trained our model with a certain predictors and estimated the profit of the company using linear regression. Key takeaways. Thank you very much.